Welcome back to Off the Tee. It is your boy JP bringing you part 2 of Laurel View. We're playing the back nine. After the first video, I am 13 over par, and this round is being played in a solo scramble format. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching the video. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment, and I'll try to incorporate it into a future video. Before we get to hole number 10, please consider subscribing by clicking on the subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, and don't forget to like the video. Now let's get ready to tee it up and jump into hole number 10. Starting on hole number 10, we have a 296 yard par 4. We have an elevated tee here looking down onto the fairway, and then there's an elevated green for the approach shot. Here I'm just trying to get one onto the fairway, so I went with a 5-iron trying to get it around 200 yards. The first shot I pushed right and it did not give me a good look in, so I dropped one, and here I'm just trying to aim for the meaty part of the fairway. This one I was able to hit exactly where I wanted and had an amazing look for the approach shot. Here I am with a 56 wedge, just trying to get the ball up and onto the green. I had about 85 yards left to the pin. Alright, shot number 3 here. I am on the dance floor and I am just trying to put this in or lag this in to give myself a tap in par. I really thought I had that. I was so excited, but unfortunately it came up just a bit short. Left me a tap in for par. Coming up to hole number 11, we have a 513 yard par 5. Interesting thing about this fairway, if that is what it's called, everything slopes down towards the right hand side, so you really want to try to hit towards the left and have the ball be fed to the right by the slope. That first shot, it hugged the tree line and it got caught up. And the second shot wasn't much different. Fortunately for me, I was outside of the tree line and right on the rough. Here I am with a 3-wood, and I'm just trying to get a good strike here and get it as close to the fairway and green as possible. I was pleased with this shot. Again, I try to keep everything to the left in order for the ball to be fed right, and I thought I was in a good position. The ball did end up on the right hand side rough. It left me a little bit of chip. I was able to chip it onto the front side of the green, and here is the putt for birdie. I am not mad at that. That was a great lag and just left me a tap in for par. Hole number 12, we have a 153 yard par 3. This one is over some water, so you really have to make sure to get the ball up and over and onto the green. This one I thought I hit well, but unfortunately it did go a little bit over the backside of the green, but it did fall short of the bunker. Gave me a tough downhill lie here. Here I'm just trying to chip one as close as possible. That one I thinned really bad, so here is my second attempt, and that one is a little bit better. Still didn't really like chip it as I wanted, but you know, sometimes you just got to live with that. Here is a putt to save par. That one I just did not hit well. I could have got it a little bit closer, but unfortunately I didn't, and that is for bogey. That brings me to 14 over, heading into hole number 13, which is a 263 yard par 4. Here I am going with the 3-wood, just trying to get one in the middle of the fairway. Hopefully gives me a wedge look into the green. The first one I topped. Second one was a fly ball, aka a can of corn in baseball terms. So coming up to shot number 2, we're about 100 yards away from the pin. That is my 50 degree. Usually my 50 is right around the 100 yards, so I knew I could probably stick this one close. That first shot I pulled off just a bit and thinned it. It ended up in the wood somewhere, and I just had to drop one and take a second attempt at this. This time I really made an effort to keep my eyes on the ball and head down, and this one was absolutely amazing. We are on the dance floor and have a pretty decent look at birdie. So as I'm walking up to this putt, all I'm thinking is give yourself a chance. Make sure that you give it enough steam for it to get to the hole. That was by far the most dramatic putt I've ever been a part of. And just like that, we are back to 13 over par, heading into hole number 14, which is a 399 yard par 5. The fairway on this hole is straight downhill. I was just trying to get one on the fairway to roll down. Unfortunately, I did not realize there was a bunker on the right hand side. Here I am with my 5 iron, just trying to lay up to around the 100 yard range, because I felt pretty dialed in with the 50 degree wedge. Unfortunately, I sauced it a little bit more than I wanted, and I was about 85 yards away from the pin, so I went with the 56 degree wedge. My first attempt here, I hit it well. I got it up in the air, but it flew a little bit on me, and it ended up on the green patch between the 2 bunkers on the back side of the fairway. So with that, I went for a second attempt. Hopefully I can put one a little bit closer than that one. And this one, unfortunately, I bladed, and the balls ended up in the same area. So let's try to get one up and down. Here, I'm just trying to chip one as close to the pin as possible. That was a very good chip in my opinion. Could have stuck it a little bit closer, but you know, at least I didn't blade that one, so I was very pleased. And with that, we have a putt for par. All I'm trying to do here is give it a chance. I thought it was tracking and I thought I had it, but unfortunately it rolled past the right lip and I just put it in for bogey. Pulling up to hole number 15, we have a 364 yard par 4. Similar to hole number 10, this fairway is down, but the green is elevated. So here I am going with the 3-wood, trying to get one onto the fairway and hopefully be able to get one up and onto the green with my second shot. Let's see what happens. The first one I did not hit well. I pulled it, and the second one, it was, as I said before, a can of corn, just a pop-up. Shot 2 from the left rough, just trying to get one up over that hill there in front of us and onto the green. First one I chunked and it did roll a bit, but it's not exactly what I wanted. Here for the second attempt, and also less than ideal, so a little bit more work to do here. Similar approach here, just trying to get one onto the green. This chip came up just short, so I dropped the second ball for my second attempt. And the second attempt didn't go any better than the first, but they ended up in very similar positions. My first chip attempt here, I'm just trying to get one close to the cup. Unfortunately, I did not hit that well. it took off on me and left me about a 12-foot putt. Like I mentioned before, the balls ended up in very similar positions, so I just slid over to the next ball and tried to chip it. Like I said before, once I get to the green, I have to choose one ball and then putt out the hole with that one ball. So here's my first attempt, and I'm able to drain it. Such a good roll. Hole number 16, we have a 356 yard par 4. The fairway here tilts slightly left. Here I took my first shot with my 3-wood. Got it onto the fairway, but I wanted to see if I can hit the 5-iron and get similar results. So I took my second shot with the 5-iron, and I'm very pleased to say that the balls were within feet of each other. So I was very pleased with both of those shots. So here's my first wedge attempt. As I mentioned before, 100 yards was my money yardage for my wedges, so I went with the 50 here. First shot I was very pleased with, but I wanted to see if I could replicate it, so I hit a second shot, and I was very pleased with both of these shots, and you guys are going to get a look at how close both of these shots were to each other. So now I had a decision to make. I did end up going with the one on the right. It seemed like a straighter putt, slightly downhill, so I just wanted to give it a good ride here for bird. And you know, this round did have me going through all the emotions, but you know, that's golf. Hole number 17, we have an elevated 152 yard par 3, playing more like 160. Here I'm just trying to split these bunkers and get one onto the dance floor. That first shot ended up on the right hand side bunker. Here is attempt number 2. Again, just trying to get one on the dance floor here. And my swing must have been consistent today because both ended up in that right side bunker, literally within feet of each other. My bunker game isn't great, but here's attempt number 1, which was a complete duff, and I just slid over to the other ball and took attempt number 2, played it exactly where it ended up, hoping to get one over that ledge there and onto a playable surface, and luckily I was able to get that up and over, so I just picked up this ball and moved it along. Shot number 3 here. I'm just trying to chip one in at this point. Nah, just kidding. Just trying to chip one as close to the hole as possible. That one came up short. Here is my first putt attempt for bogey. Just trying to give it a run and get it up there, but just did not happen. I babied that and left myself tap in for double. Last hole of the day, we have a 377 elevated par 4, which is hole number 18 of the day. This one I yanked, and it did end up in a good position for the second shot, but it was behind all the gravel and all the nastiness that's there on the left hand side. So I teed it up again, hopefully trying to get one into the fairway, and here is attempt number 2. And this one I pushed really bad. It actually went into the trees and I was not able to find that ball. So I had to take the first shot. Here I have my 60 degree, just trying to get it up and over the bunker, protecting the green. This one I thought I might have got it over, but unfortunately it went right into the bunker. So I took a second attempt here just to see if I can get it over, and that went nowhere. So from the bunker, here is shot number 3. Here again, I am not great with bunkers. I was able to get this one out, but I wanted to take a second attempt, you know, practice always makes better, so I like to practice as much as I can. And this one, I was able to get it out, but it did not roll out as much as the first one, so I took the first one. Shot 4 is a chip from off of the green. Here, I'm just trying to roll one as close to the pin as possible. That one was not a good roll at all. The second one was a little better, but again, not what I would call a good chip. And here is my putt for bogey. That one slid on me real bad, and this one is for double, and I was able to cash that in and end the day. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so already, please consider liking and subscribing. And if you missed the last video, here's a link.